And now for the rest of the story. It was a foggy night on a lonely stretch of two-lane blacktop in rural Georgia. A young man behind the wheel, his sweetheart beside him on their date. Headlights cutting through the mist, laughter in the car, until suddenly a stalled truck loomed ahead. Tires screaming, glass shattering, and then silence. The young survivor held his girl close in the wreckage, kissed her one last time, and whispered words of love that would echo for decades. Oh, where can my baby be? The Lord took her away from me. You heard the song, the haunting teen tragedy ballad that tugged at the heartstrings, Last Kiss. It climbed the charts in the 60s and got a fresh life with Pearl Jam in the 90s, and still played like a ghost from bygone era of doo-wop heartbreaks. A perfect slice of teenage tragedy music right out of the era when songs like Teen Angel and Tell Laura I Love Her dominated the airwaves. But that's not the whole story. Our tale begins not with the crash, but years earlier with a young musician named Wayne Cochran. He lived near a dangerous rural highway in Georgia, Route 1941, where wrecks were all too common, the kind of road where reckless youth met unforgiving steel. Wayne started scribbling a song about it around 1956 or 57. The chords, the first verse, that unforgettable chorus about losing his baby. But he got stuck, set it aside, life moved on. Then came 1961. Wayne recorded Last Kiss with his band. It didn't exactly set the world on fire at first. Small label, limited distribution. But the raw emotion was there, a story of love cut short by one terrible moment on the road. Fast forward to 1964. Enter J. Frank Wilson and the Cavaliers. They cut a version that caught fire, climbed all the way to number 2 on the Billboard charts. Radio stations couldn't play it enough. Audiences felt every word. But here's where the plot thickens. While the song was climbing the charts, life began imitating art in the cruelest ways. The band manager, Sonny Roche, was driving them to a show where he fell asleep at the wheel and slammed into a truck. Roche was killed. J. Frank Wilson survived but was badly injured. Fans saw him hobble onto stage on crutches, singing that very song about survival and loss. The tragedy only fueled the record's popularity. And that real-life crash the song seemed to capture so vividly, many point to a heartbreaking 1962 accident in Barnesville, Georgia. A car full of teenagers hitting a stalled truck on a foggy night. Two 16-year-olds, Jeanette Clark and her date, J.L. Hancock, among the lost. The community was devastated. Wayne Cochran, living nearby, felt the pain deeply. Some say it helped him finally finish the lyrics he had started years before. Except the timeline didn't quite line up perfectly. Wayne had already recorded an earlier version before the specific wreck. The song drew from many tragedies on those dangerous Georgia roads. Real loss distilled into 3 minutes of vinyl sorrow. Decades later, in 1999, Eddie Vedder and Pearl Jam dusted it off, bringing a sound check. Recorded a loose version for their fan club, and the radio grabbed it. Another massive hit, another generation felt the ache. So the next time you hear those words, we were out on a date in my daddy's car. Remember, it wasn't just one songwriter's imagination. It was born on real roads where young dreams ended too soon, carried by voices who sometimes lived their own version of the pain. And now you know the rest of the story. Good day.